Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Have you ever wondered exactly where life exists on our amazing planet Earth? Really thought about it? Well, today we're taking a journey to find out. Picture this for a second. Imagine the absolute highest, fluffiest clouds way up in the sky. Got it? Okay, now think about the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean. Do you think living things can actually survive all the way up there or all the way down there? Let's dive in and see. To figure this out, we need to talk about a pretty important word, the biosphere. So what is it? Basically, the biosphere is just the part of Earth where life exists. It includes absolutely every living organism. We're talking plants, animals, fungi, tiny little bacteria, and yep, even you and me. Now the thing is, the biosphere isn't just one single place. It actually includes the air right above us, the water around us, and the ground right under our feet. When you put all of those pieces together, they create the largest ecosystem on our entire planet. It's literally the ultimate home for life. So to really understand how the biosphere works, we're going to break it down into three main areas or spheres. Let's check them out. First up is the atmosphere. The layer of air wrapped all around the Earth. Now, most living things like birds and insects, they hang out pretty close to the ground in a layer we call the troposphere. But get this. Scientists have actually found tiny microorganisms and spores floating way, way up in the sky. Pretty cool, right? Next, we've got the hydrosphere. This is all the water on Earth. And let me tell you, life is swimming everywhere here. You'll find living things in shallow rivers, swamps, lakes, and seas. There's even life hiding out in the groundwater deep below us. And yeah, life totally thrives in the deepest, darkest ocean trenches too. The third area is the lithosphere. That's Earth's rocky outer layer. Sure, most land animals and plants live right on the surface, but if you dig just a little deeper, the soil is absolutely packed with life. Incredibly, some tiny bacteria even live deep inside solid rocks, miles below the ground. Okay, so we know life is in the air, in the water, and in the ground. But that brings up a really big question. How far does the biosphere actually stretch? What are the extreme limits where life can still somehow survive? Let's look at the upper boundary first. Amazingly, life reaches up to 20 to 25 kilometers into the atmosphere. That is way higher than commercial airplanes fly. Up there, tiny spores and bacteria just ride the wind, surviving high above the clouds. And going down, we hit a totally mind-blowing boundary in the ocean. Life survives almost 11 kilometers deep. Down in those deep ocean trenches, it is freezing cold and pitch black, but amazing sea creatures have somehow adapted to call it home. And what about under the land? Well, the boundary there reaches about 3 to 5 kilometers deep. Think about that. Even crushed under millions of tons of dirt and stone, tiny microorganisms find just enough water and warmth inside solid rock to survive. But here's something really important to remember. Even with those extremes, the layer where life actually exists is very thin compared to the massive size of the Earth. Think of the Earth like a giant apple. The entire biosphere, from the high clouds to the deep rocks, is just like the super thin skin of that apple. It's a tiny, delicate slice of our planet. Which brings us to a really fun question. What does life actually need to survive in this thin little layer? Let's uncover the secret recipe of conditions that makes all this amazing life possible. Basically, every living thing needs a few specific things. First off, sunlight. Sunlight is the main energy source for plants, and that kicks off the whole food chain. Second is water, literally essential for all living things. Third, we need a suitable temperature, not too hot, not too cold. And fourth, air. Most organisms need oxygen to breathe, while plants use carbon dioxide to make their food. To finish off our recipe, we add minerals from the soil to help plants grow. Then, food. Animals need food for energy and to keep their bodies strong. And finally, a safe habitat. Whether it's a giant forest, a sandy desert, or a coral reef, every species needs a safe place to call home. So, we know what the biosphere is, and we know what it needs. But why does it matter? Why should you and I care so much about this thin layer of life wrapped around our world? Well, because the biosphere provides basically everything we need to live. It gives us the oxygen in our lungs, it gives us our food, wood, and even medicines. Plus, it keeps the water and nutrient cycle spinning, which naturally cleans the air we breathe and the water we drink. It's also home to a massive diversity of life. Get this. Scientists estimate there are about 8 to 9 million different species of plants and animals out there, and many of them we haven't even discovered yet. The biosphere keeps all this nature beautifully balanced. A healthy ecosystem means a healthy planet for all these species, including us. And life is so incredibly adaptable. Here are a couple of super fun facts for you. We actually find living organisms swimming in boiling hot springs. We also find life surviving completely frozen in polar ice. Because life can adapt to these extreme places, scientists are discovering brand new species every single year. Nature is literally full of surprises. Because the biosphere gives us so much, we kind of have a job to do. And the good news is, small actions make a really big difference. You have the power to help. Doing simple everyday things, like planting trees, saving water, and reducing pollution, really does help keep our ecosystems healthy. Always remember, one planet, one home. We've got to take care of it together. Every plant, every animal, and every person depends on this one thin, amazing layer of life. We are all connected inside the biosphere. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question to really think about today. How will you help protect our amazing planet? Because the biosphere is the only home we've got. If you protect nature, you protect life, and you protect our future. Thanks so much for joining me on this adventure today. Keep exploring, and I'll see you next time.